Hello everyone, I'm Rafael Alvarez and this is Alvarez Metalworks. Before we get started today, I wanted to give a special shout out to my channel sponsor, RorikSupply.com. They've been a tremendous amount of help to me when it comes to producing these videos for all of you. Check out RorikSupply.com. They have flap discs, cutoff wheels, grinding wheels, welding blankets, drill bits, burr bits, welding helmets, roll-lock discs, you name it. The list goes on and on. Use coupon code METAL, save yourself 10% off anything that you order from them as many times as you choose to use that coupon code. That's my thank you to you for supporting my channel. With that being said, let's get to work. Hey everyone, so this is a bit of a shop update as well as talking to you guys about my Instagram account and a shop tour. I don't believe I've ever done a shop tour on my channel before. I don't really know. If I have, it's been a long time ago. So let me explain why. The last shop update I had talked to you guys about moving out of this shop and getting my own place and hopefully having an adequate shop wherever I move. The owner of the house that I'm living in is actively trying to sell it. I apologize about that. He's actively trying to sell the house. Fortunately for us, the potential buyers that have come have backed out of the deal for various different reasons. Most of those reasons having to do with the same reason why I don't want to buy the house. But with that being said, it's still up for sale. It's still time for me to get out of this situation and stop allowing other people to dictate where I go in life. I've been renting my whole life, and it's time to buy my own place. So, like most of the people in this country, or not most, like many people in this country, I have student loan debts, and I let those get behind. So I'm straightening out that situation. And hopefully it'll be squared away come September or October, and at that point, according to the financiers, I'll be able to be approved for a home loan. So that's kind of the downslope of the market out here in Syracuse because you're getting into winter. On the plus side is if you can find someplace at that time of year, it's a buyer's market because the sellers don't want to have to maintain the homes throughout the winter, and a lot of people are not trying to move in the winter as well. So we'll see. Crossing my fingers that something comes up that's going to suit our needs just right. That could be something varying between an existing shop that I can move right into and a house that suits our needs, or it could be a house that has a decent sized 2-car garage, but enough property in the house being bought for cheap enough so that I can go out there and build a shop, have a pole building put up, something like that. Who knows? We'll see as as time progresses and we get closer to that point. But I'm not going to be in the shop a whole hell of a lot longer, so I figure now that I've got it actually fairly decently clean, I would show you guys around it and document it. So there's that. One of the other things that we need to talk about is Project Pathfinder and Project Tow Rig. Okay, both of those projects have to be done, and when I mean done, they have to be drivable. They have to be ready to roll when it comes time to move. I know I said that in the last shop update, but it still applies. It's just time kind of got pushed back a little bit. And that was really the big point of me cleaning up my shop. For those who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, that's what I've been trying to hammer out over the last couple weeks. This thing's been a disaster. Hadn't cleaned this shop in probably about a year, and just stuff everywhere accumulating. Hauled out a trailer load of trash last weekend, and still got a bunch of stuff that I would really like to get rid of, mostly scrap metal and such. But just got, I just don't have a place for some of these things, so they're kind of piled up here and there. And you'll see that in, when I do the walkthrough. There's a bench over there that has a bunch of stuff. It's not necessarily junk, but has a bunch of odds and end tools and things like that I need to. Some of them are rusty that have been laying around for a long time, so I need to get them cleaned up, and then just find a home for them. Not as in giving them away, just find a home in my shop for them. So let's talk about Instagram real quick. For those that don't know, I work at a marina for my full-time day job. I work on a lot of really cool things there, but unfortunately, that's my place of employment. Getting tongue-tied. My place of employment, and they're paying me hourly, and it's just not conducive for me to try to shoot videos. They're not, on top of that, they're not going to want to pay me to do that. So unfortunately, I can't do that, and I would really like to, because some of the projects are awesome. But on my Instagram account, I have a number of photographs documenting some of the projects that I work on. Some of the stuff that I just think is kind of cool, and take pictures of it and post them on there. You don't see that stuff on Facebook, and so I post it all on Instagram. I take those pictures for my place of employment for their Instagram page, but I also, I also post the stuff on mine as well. Instagram is something that I have been going back and forth for a long time about whether or not it's a necessary tool. I started the account, I think it was late last year or early this year, so it's a fairly new account. For a long time, I was like, what the hell do I need this for? Facebook, it's owned by Facebook, and it's a photo gallery, and Facebook allows me to post pictures, so what the hell do I need that for? Everybody that I'm trying to let see these pictures is on Facebook. However, unfortunately, like I talked about in my YouTube video recently, Facebook has been sucking some dick lately, and they're really, really pushing to make money off the users versus make money off of the advertisers. And what I mean by users versus advertisers, I kind of put somebody like me in a separate category as a business, as a major, multi-billion-dollar company. Those are the guys that I consider advertisers. They have no real stock in maintaining active Facebook pages. They're really just out there to push their product down our throat. Where somebody like me, we don't have the budgets that they do, and it just kind of sucks that Facebook is really trying to back us into a corner, somebody at my level, and force us to pay to have people look at our content, especially after we've done all the legwork to get people to like our pages, and they obviously want to see the content. Let's say I got 2,000 likes on my page. I shouldn't have to pay for those 2,000 people to see the stuff that I post on that page. And that's what's happening as of recently, and it just sucks. So the Instagram account, even though it's owned by Facebook, is not to that point yet. They do want you. They are trying to get people to boost their posts so that more people will see them. But as of this point, I'm seeing more benefits, more activity via posting pictures on Instagram than I am posting pictures via my Facebook page. Not my personal one, but my business one. So I'll put a link down in the description where you guys can find that. Check it out. Follow me on there if you're an Instagram user, and enjoy the pictures. So we're going to start here on the outside. Got my car out here because I've got to take its snow tires off and put the summer tires on. I got some junk laying around out here for me trying to clean up my shop. Got a couple more things I need to drag out of there. Need to get rid of this stuff. There's my boat back there. That's a long-term project, but it's obviously not going to get done before I move. So we'll see. It might get sold. I need to get a quad for my wife, so we'll see what happens. It's a 1971 Aristocraft 19. Hardtop, sliding hardtop. So here's an overall view of my shop. We're sitting at about 1,200 square feet. I know I say 1,300. The measurements on here is about 1,256, but when you consider that this corner is an angled corner, you gotta take into account that some of that square footage is missing because of that. So Over here, what we got is my new to me, 10-inch grizzly table saw. And even though this says no good on it, it is good. It's a Rockwell model 504 belt sander. Now, this is rebranded as Rockwell. This is actually a, oh Jesus Christ, I'm drawing blank. Porter Cable. Porter Cable is actually used to be a local company out here in Syracuse. And so there's a lot of old Porter Cable tools, vintage stuff around, and this is, a rebranded version of a Porter Cable belt sander. I got it from work. All this and the table saw I got from work. The brushes were bad in it, and the caps for the brushes, and luckily they still sell those parts, so it works now. I just got to get a belt for it. Table saw works. I just got to get a new plug. It's 220. It's got this style of plug. I either need to build an adapter or get one that works with my welding 220 plug. For those of you that are into old table saws, if you know or have any ideas on how to get one of those knives that falls behind the blades, I forget what they're called, to keep it from kicking back on you, let me know. I'd like to get one or try to make one or something like that. This saw is actually model TSC 10. I don't know how well that's showing up. So anyway, also what I got here was a Ryobi planer. This actually doesn't work. I got to tear it apart. Hopefully it's nothing major. I thought it was the switch. It's not the switch. Something else is wrong with it. So we'll see. Got to open it up. Something that's probably not going to get done for a while. This little pile of junk right here, this is a bunch of brake lines, and I don't want to throw it away. I got it from a buddy. I may need that for this project or that project. I'm not 100% sure. Probably not Project Pathfinder, because the brake lines in Project Pathfinder are metric. So here's my JD squared model 32 tubing bender that I built the air over hydraulic setup for with a Harbor Freight air over hydraulic ram. I've got a video about that, or videos about that if you're interested. My 80-gallon compressor, Ingersoll Rand pump, single phase 220 motor. Mounted the hose reel on here so it's easy. Got the air raid, vinyl or whatever the hell that is set up. I just got a drop right there. Got a drop here, and it runs across this down the wall over there, and then there's a drop down on that side. So walking over here, this blue cabinet, I'd eventually like to clean this thing up. This is a fire cabinet, so it's meant for like aerosols and stuff like that. I keep waste oil in it. I got to get rid of all that waste oil. There's some spray cans in there as well. Here's my spare engine for Project Pathfinder. I eventually want to tear this thing down and rebuild it. I'm not sure if I will. We'll see what happens in the future. So this corner of my shop, you can see the moisture on the ground. It has a really bad leak, so I try not to keep anything back in this corner that's going to get ruined from water. Now if you look at Project Tow Rig, you see the surface rust on the metal. That's all from the roof leaking, and it's something that's got to get cleaned up before primer and paint and all that stuff. So back here we got some plastic little bullshit shelf that I'm just using to store hole saws and other junk, drill bits. Very poor organization. Got an old Packard Precision Taiwanese drill press. It works. I got it for dirt cheap. They actually brand these as many different names. We have one at my work that's a different brand. I don't know what it is. It's the same exact drill press. They work. This one's got a lot of run out. I'm hoping I'm going to pull out the chuck and clean it up and put it back in. I'm probably going to get a keyless chuck for it eventually. We'll see what happens. See if that clears up some of the run out or not. It may just be, maybe this whole thing inside of here needs to be addressed. If that's the case, I'll just run it the way it is until it's ready to be replaced. So over here, I picked up, when I first got my shop, I got that drill press and these or bench grinders from the same place. It was an old machine shop that was shutting down. And so these are some old vintage bench grinders that run really, really well. I like them. The stand is awesome, super heavy duty. So I mounted this little shelf thing up here just for random clutter, obviously. I've got my bandsaw here. Now this is a vintage Duro bandsaw. I don't know what year. I got it for free from a friend, co-worker. He got it from his place of employment at the time, which was an auto body shop. I don't know, they couldn't find how to get the blades for it. You can get bandsaw blades custom made, so I don't know what the issue was there, but they said they couldn't get blades for it. I know the tires were bad on it. I replaced the tires just recently and got a new blade for it, new stirrup blade. It works, motor's down there. Not much to say about it. It works good. It's pretty cool though, because it's got the 2 pulleys right there for the 2 speeds on that end, but it's also got planetary gears inside of here. So if I push or pull this, it'll significantly reduce the RPM of the saw. I don't know what it reduces it down to, but it's super, super slow. So this saw could be used for both metal as well as wood. So let me flip back around here. Now this cabinet here, I just got various junk thrown in there. I'm not even going to bother to open it because it's filthy. A bunch of trash in there. It's not trash, but I got like spray cans and odds and end junk tools and stuff like that. And then I got this little crapper shelf that I don't even know where I got. It's a junk pile collection as well. I've got some door windows and some other windows for Project Pathfinder. I've got this. This is the original electrical panel at a Project Tow Rig, the ambulance panel. This thing here is the AC unit out of Project Tow Rig for the ambulance. I got to get rid of all these fluorescent tubes. These were the lighting that was in the shop when I got here. Got some more windows here for Project Pathfinder. H1 wheels, H1 tires, Pathfinder stock wheels, and plastic that I used to cover up Project Pathfinder. Some storage here for some smaller sheets of sheet steel, and these racks that I built way back in the day to hold my metal. They're just lag bolted on. There's just 3 of them. I don't know what they would hold as far as weight's concerned, but that's a lot of weight over there, and it's holding it just fine. So let's come around here. This little bench here, rickety bench. This is actually a server cabinet laid down on its side. It's something I brought from Arizona. I don't know why. I got it for free, and I just figured, hey, you know what? I want that. It's kind of one of those things that you think you're going to need, but you don't. So when I first moved into this shop, it had some wood benches, and I'll show you those later, that are kind of rickety and gross. And I came across an old Craftsman bandsaw and an old Craftsman lathe. So I flipped this thing on its side, took some rusty angle iron that you see that extension made out of, and threw this piece of plywood that was in here in the shop to begin with, threw it on there and pushed it back up against this wall. That was before I realized how bad of a roof leak I had, and that's what I used it for. I eventually got rid of those 2 tools, and this got pushed over here, and it's just being used as a bench. So working my way this way, these are some of the parts for Project Tow Rig. Ouch. And most of the parts for Project Pathfinder. Here on the ground, what I'm kicking over, some 2x1 tubing that's for a project tow rig. Got some 2-inch, 1/4-inch wall tubes here and some 3/4-inch square tubes that are for project tow rig. The 2-inch, 1/4-inch walls for the links, for the 4-link and 3-link up front. 4-link in the back, 3-link up front. Various jack stands that are all going to be used on this project to hold the axles in place. It's my Porter cable abrasive chop saw that's eventually going to get put underneath here. Here's my welding carts that hopefully, if you guys followed my channel, you saw me build. These are awesome. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. My 6x4 welding table that has been amazing. I thought I needed a 4x8, and if I get a shop big enough to warrant building another welding table, I will build a 4x8, but this thing has been pretty decent size. I like it. It's not too big, not too small. I'm using a 3/8 plate for the top, and it seems to work well. This is my Evolution Rage cold cut, dry cut saw, and I'll be doing an extensive review on that later. I'm waiting for some information from a buddy who has one of these that actually had to go under some warranty work. Here's my U.S. General Harbor Freight tool carts. My Everlast Power Plasma 50 on its cart that I made many years ago. Video about that on my channel somewhere. This is my FOA coilovers for Project Pathfinder. One of them. The other 3 are in the house. Back here, these are the new heavy duty leaf springs, leaf spring hangers, and the shackles and the U-bolts and trailer hitch. Windows are underneath the welding blanket. I'm going to be rebuilding the entire rear and front suspension steering on this, so gathering the parts for that. And we come over here, my 20-ton Harbor Freight shop press works great, no issues with it, can't beat it. My Harbor Freight blast cabinet that's got the Tacoma Company upgrade, it's just been pushed over here to this corner. It's hooked up with air, but the vacuum system's not hooked up to it. If I need it, I'll hook it up, but for now it's going to just sit here. This bench here is full of clutter. This is something that I built, one of the first things I built here in my shop, and it's never been fully finished, but it's good enough, obviously, because it holds all my junk. Maybe when I move into my new shop, if I have time, I'd like to finish this up and clean it up and paint it and make it look nice. But something that I really liked, something I get a lot of use out of, real cheap to build. It's all built out of 3/4-inch square tube. So there's obviously my quad here. And sitting here on the sawhorses is the corporate 10-bolt Chevy front axle. And these 2 wood benches were here in the shop. This one's got a bunch of clutter on it. Odds and end tools, all of it's good stuff. That insulation is probably going to get tossed. This one over here has got various hoses and tarps and things like that I use are just not being used at the moment. 55-gallon drum I have because it's one of those things that I said, hey, I could use that, and brought it home, and now it sits there. Some scrap metal in that case, and my summer tires that need to go on the car. And if we come over here, we have this little cheap Harbor Freight bender that I thought I would use, and I've never used, so it sits here. I know I will eventually use it, but it's not something that ever really gets used. This is my old welding cart. This oven that's on here is eventually going to be turned into a powder coating oven. This is the old compressor 3-phase motor. It works, I just don't know what to do with it. Probably will get sold. This is my Irwin bench vise. It's just sitting back there just for now because I'm not sure where I want to mount that permanently. This is my new to me Dayton shear brake roller. I'll be doing a video about that this week. I've already shot the video, so I just got to put it together. This here is my JD Squared bead roller. They do not make this bead roller anymore, unfortunately for me. I got kind of fucked on that deal because now they told me that they could still build the dies for me, but the motor kit for it is unavailable. They gave me, you know, the parts list on so I can try to build it myself, and I may or may not. I'm not sure. I'm really kind of bummed out with that situation because I really wanted the motor and I really wanted all their dies, but there's no point in me buying the dies if I got to hand crank this thing. You know, anybody who's used a bead roller knows that hand cranking them sucks. It's a two-person job. You don't really have any control over it. You really need a pedal operated on a rheostat system so that you can control the speed and whatnot. And if you're going to be doing this right. This is a stand that I built for it. That's another video that's going to be put out there. Something I started last year sometime and just barely finished it. Over here is a Harbor Freight pipe bender. I believe it's from Harbor Freight. It's the same one as Harbor Freight, if it's not Chinese junk. I got it from a friend. It's just sitting here. I got it just to get it because it was free. There's an old heater behind that, and then, you know, my Sunstream kerosene heater there. And my engine hoist. There's an extensive amount of videos about that from Pet Boys on my channel. That was a bit of a nightmare when I first got it, but it works. And that's pretty much it. That's what we got here. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Like always, subscribe, comment, like, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, again, make sure to check out the link in the description for my Instagram page. I'm also going to put some links down in the description for my machines as far as the welders and stuff. The Everlast Power Plasma 50, my Everlast Power I-mig 200, and the Everlast Power TIG 210 EXT. I'll put a link down there for the Evolution Rage 3 as well. Those are all Amazon links. So if you guys purchase those through Amazon, I do get some credit there, you know, some commission because I'm an Amazon affiliate. But if not, it is what it is. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later.